Hey guys, what is up? I like having a microphone like this. It just makes me feel way more official. Um Today I'm going to talk on a touchy subject for probably a lot of people. Um but just try to have an open mind, you know? Try to have an open mind. Um so I'm just going to jump right in. I'm talking about mental health, mental illnesses. Um, and I'll just start by talking about me and my struggles with mental health. I think majority of people in this world struggle with mental health. Because we live in such a go, go, go world these days, and there's so much stimulation and so much expectations, and it's just different, you know. We all know that back in our parents' day, you know, it was just like, I'm gonna grow up and be a waitress, I'm gonna grow up and be a police officer, I'm gonna go to community college for 2 years and settle down and have a family, and everything's gonna be roses and whatever else. What is that saying? I gotta get my sayings in order. But yeah, by that I just mean it was like there was less expectations of people, and so it just, there wasn't that much to worry about. They were just like, I know what my life is gonna be, and I'm just gonna enjoy it, you know. Not everyone, but majority. Maybe that's naive to say, I don't know. But yeah, when I was 8 years old, I would say maybe 7, my first experience with anxiety was waking up in the middle of the night and I couldn't breathe, and I went into my parents' room and I was crying, and I was like, I can't breathe, I'm dying, I don't know what's wrong with me. And and they were just like, calm down, you're just having anxiety. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I can't breathe, take me to the emergency room. And they're just like, just lay down, and they like set up a little bed for me next to their bed on the floor, and I fell asleep. And over the years, though, I would wake up in the same thing, and I would have anxiety attacks, and I just remember feeling like just this impending doom, just completely overwhelmed by this fear and this just general, like, it was just, I was scared. I was like, something awful is going to happen. I'm going to die. Like, that was how I felt in those moments. And I would just have like little movie clips playing in my head of, you know, a scary movie I saw, or just a really bad, like, gross thing happening to me, or whatever, just terrifying thoughts. And my parents would just have to sit with me until I calmed down and could go back to sleep. And really, it was my childhood up through the end of middle school was really hard, because I just had anxiety. It was hard for me to fall asleep. I would stay up all night because I didn't want to go to sleep. I was afraid of going to sleep because I was afraid of having a panic attack. And I developed OCD in middle school, and it was really bad to the point where I couldn't go to school. It was just, I don't even want to get into the details of it, but it was almost debilitating how bad my OCD was. And for whatever reason, going into high school, I started to get better. I was just doing okay, you know. I was getting older, and I was dealing with things better. And I posted on my Facebook because I haven't struggled with OCD in years, like probably since middle school. But the other night when I was pulling out my lights, like, I had some word that used to be a word that like triggered my OCD, and I was about to like go through the trouble of plugging the lights back in and then unplugging them. And I was just like, no, you don't have to do that. And so I just went to bed. And I would say my eating disorder, a couple years back was also, that was my OCD coming back up. But like with the eating disorder, this guy I knew told me, he was just like, just start eating again. Like, that's all you have to do, just eat. And I got really offended, and I was like, you don't fucking understand. Like, you've never had it, so you can't just tell me that. But he was right. That was all I needed to do. Just not listen to my fear. The fear was eating, so eat. And that's how I recovered. I had a friend who, she would FaceTime with me, and she was just like, just eat. And I would just eat. And eventually things get better, especially in that situation. The more you eat, the more healthy your brain function is, and you start to realize, hey, like, I got this. You can think more clearly. But the point of the video is, if I could get past my mental health, you can too. There's no extent. You could have a certainly severe mental health disorder, but mine was severe at one point. And I just grew, and I came to work with it better. And it's like with my panic attacks now. I still get panic attacks sometimes at night, and I say to myself, you don't need to do this. The universe has got your back. You don't need to do this. You are taken care of. You don't need to worry right now. You are nurtured. And just knowing that I am okay, no matter what I feel, no matter what my head wants to tell me, I'm okay. When your head tells you this is terrible, life is terrible, there's no way out, you just have to say, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I know that there's a way out. I know that there is joy and happiness and love in my life. And I'm open to it, and I'm open to receive it. And it's making me want to cry just saying that, because it's so true. And it sounds like too good to be true, but it's not. We've all had those moments in our lives where we're just like, wow, I'm lucky. Wow, I'm so happy that I'm in this moment. I'm so here. I'm so present. This is so wonderful. And your whole life can be that. Because the only thing that's different is that you were present and you perceived that moment in that way. And when you're really struggling, you're perceiving life through this little keyhole, and you're just looking through that keyhole, and you're seeing a wonderful life on the other side, but you don't believe that you can get to the other side. And you just need to open the door and stop looking through the keyhole. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, how dare you say that mental health can just be turned around by your thoughts. But that is the truth. Whether you're ready to hear it or not. Because when I had an eating disorder and that guy told me just eat, I wasn't ready to hear that. But now I look back and I'm like, yeah, he was right. He was totally right. And have patience and love for yourself. And every time you get into that deep and dark place, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whatever it is, just remind yourself that this world is a very loving world. And I would encourage you to find a higher power, or just to believe that the foundation of life is goodness and love. It's like, why do we feel love if that isn't the foundation of life? Because nobody likes feeling pain, nobody likes suffering, nobody likes anger, nobody likes those feelings, but we love to feel love. We love to feel happiness. So that has to have a meaning. That has to have some significance. I'm not going to believe that this is an evil world, because it's not. It's so not. And we really can choose to look at anything through a lens of gratitude, and through a lens of, life is up and down. There's seasons, but this world is love, and this life is love, and I can choose to remain positive in any situation, because this is the only life that we have, that we know of. This is the only life we're experiencing right now, and there's no need to waste time with self-inflicted pain, with self-inflicted chains. It's all about changing our thoughts. There's a lot of therapists out there, who practice thought work, and recognizing that our thoughts create our reality. And if you really are just present without the thoughts, you realize that everything is okay. And if everything's not okay, if you're physically threatened at any given time, you just accept that whatever the outcome is, it is. You have no choice in moments like that but to accept that, obviously you do what you've got to do to get out of it, but then you accept that, whatever happens. But life is just so dark when you want to look at it that way, and you can always choose to look at it through light and happiness and a lesson to learn. So I hope that this helps someone, and you're supported, and you are nurtured. You're safe, you're secure, and you can get through anything. Believe in your strength. Believe in your emotional strength. You fucking got this. Okay. Bye.